Okay, so it is the 29th of April 2022. This video is for IB Biology. Here we have the subject brief from the IB program. The first exams for this examination session started in 2016. Every around 7 or 8 years, the IB updates the program and changes a little bit the syllabus. So this one is for the one that started in 2016, which I believe is still going on now. As we scroll to the bottom, we see the topics that enter in the syllabus, and then the additional higher level topics. If the student is doing higher level, there's standard level and higher. And then as we scroll down, we see how they are graded. So then they have the IB exams in May of the second year of the IB program, which would be 12th grade. And we have paper 1, 2, and 3. So these are 3 different tests, but they're called papers. Paper 1 is 40 multiple choice questions. Paper 2 is a short answer, and 3, a short answer and extended response. So these are the formats, and they also have an internal assessment that they have to do, but I can help them with that if needed. Then there's an optional choice that they can choose if they're in higher level to do one of the options. And this is the subject brief, so it's just a 2-page kind of overall summary of the course. There is also the IB guide. All of these things you're going to find in the folder biology, and then textbooks and general course material. And then here I've got the subject brief, and then I've got the guide. You also have here the textbook, a study guide, the answers to the questions in the textbook, and then some other things there. So here in the guide, this is 179 pages, which explains in detail the course. And so here they have like the really long version of the syllabus. As we go to page 20, we can see the syllabus goes from 20 to 142. So it's a really long one, and it gives a really detailed description, starting with this overview, and then it goes into what exactly is each group. So if I wanted to know what do I need to know in 1.2, and then it would be these things. And then we have our textbook, which is broken out by chapters. And so the student may say, okay, well, I want to go over cell biology. And then so we could go to this first chapter and review the material. And they have questions at the end of the chapter. And they may have questions during the chapter as well. Let's check. Some data-based questions, which are here. And so there are some questions throughout the chapter, and these would be a little bit easier than past paper questions, so it's a good place to start. And then let's see at the end of the chapter. No, it just goes right into the next one. Okay. Oh, here we go. There are some questions at the end of the chapter as well. So we have some sprinkled throughout the chapter and then at the end, and then our answers to those would be here. So if we want to check, so these would be a good place to start if the student is just starting out, to go through these and check ourselves with the answers. We also have the study guide, which is just kind of like an overview of some of like the super essential necessary information. So it's just like a condensed version of like what they would need, what the student would need for each topic, kind of like summarized basically. So that can be interesting to go through as well. Then once the students have become familiar with what's in the book and all of this material and the book questions, then what would be interesting to do is go through and practice past paper questions. So a good resource we have for that is Examinate. And I have my subscription that I have purchased, and I've shared with you the login and password in the resource document that I have emailed to you. And then here under topical past papers, then we get to go to the category. I've done the IB diploma, the International Baccalaureate. Subject is biology. The level you can pick, higher or standard. I've picked higher just as an example. You can pick which type of paper you want to go through. One, which is multiple choice, or 2 or 3, or you could select all 3 if you wanted. And then pick a topic. So maybe the student might say to me, okay, Friday I have a test on cell biology. And so it's a paper 1 test on cell biology. So maybe I'd select paper 1 and cell biology. I selected all the years, all the recent ones anyway. And then I hit search, and then it brings up these questions. I like to go to the end to get the most recent questions. It's not necessary, you don't have to do that. I just like to do the more recent ones first. And then we have the question and the answer, and the question and the answer. So these are all really good resources to use to help the students understand IB biology. This is Ernie Solis with AE Teaching in Barcelona. If you have any other questions, please let me know. Thanks.